I'm coming in to do a weekly collective update for August 11th. I want to see what's coming up in the energies. So I'm going to ask for the collective. Well, we've already got some popping out here. For the collective, what the archetype is coming up. Maybe we can tie all this reading in together with. There's the archetypal energy that is coming up for the collective this week. So we've got the Six of Cups coming up. Oh, that light is pretty freaking glare on these cards. So yeah, we have the Six of Cups. So yeah, six is kind of about that harmony. That's kind of divinity, that spiritual connection as well. Number 6 is like that peace. So it looks like here, and then we have cups. Cups are our emotions. And so here we have, they're kind of have a cup in their hand, you know, representing, I would say, kind of like their peace. And then the children here, we have some childlike energy here. That's not really good. It's not showing that. I'm going to see if I can try and get the glare off of here. Maybe if I hold it like that. Yeah, so we have some children here. And they're playing in all these cups with these, you know, these little kind of toys. So it might be kind of around our home life, but it's going to be, looks like our emotions. It's very peaceful. We have these childlike kind of energy coming up in this as well. We have the maybe father-parent relationship. And it looks like here, yeah, we're peacefully looking out. We're enjoying. We're relaxed. We're looking out and enjoying, you know, our children playing. You know, we're enjoying our family life. So it looks like here we might have some emotions coming up this week, but we're looking at kind of that harmony, that balance, that peace with that. And it might be centered around maybe our family life, maybe something to do with our children. So let's see what else pops up for this. Interesting. And we've got the colors on here, green, red, and purple. So it might be something to do as well with our heart chakra, our crown, and our root. So like our root chakra, yeah, that would be like our family, our tribal, our stability. And then we have the crown chakra, which is kind of on the opposite. We've got that insight, that knowing, kind of that mind opening up. And then we've got this heart chakra. So it's almost like we've got the, you know, the upper, the lower, and the middle, which kind of, you know, has that like balance type of thing. So yeah, that looks like it might be coming up for people this week. Let's see what else we can pull on that. I'm going to pull out a guide for the collective and an alchemical activation. And I'm going to ask who the guide that's popping up for the collective and the crystal that would be most beneficial to work with. We could be reflecting too, maybe reflecting on our childhood. Let's see, who's the guide coming out? So we've got Archon Barbelo and picture Jasper, support. I choose to accept the reality that there is support for all levels of my being. I lean into the loving embrace of the universe so that I experience complete and ultimate spiritual fulfillment in a way that all benefits may gain that all beings may gain spiritual benefit. As I trust in the divine support, my courage and boldness increase. I choose to live with unconditional trust and confidence in divine grace. So it looks like using picture Jasper is going to be a good one this week, and calling on Archon Barbelo. Now, it's saying here that I choose to accept the reality that there is support for all levels of my being. So it looks like here, yeah, we're being asked to accept support, and we choose to accept. So sometimes we can have a belief that is rooted in, I have no support, nobody's there for me, and sometimes that belief kind of gets ingrained in us because, you know what, sometimes people aren't there for us. Sometimes, and that kind of almost solidifies that within us when it keeps happening over and over and over again, kind of solidifies that with us. But there is support. You know, if you don't have physical support, you can call on your guides. You can call on your spiritual team for help. Your angels, that's why they're there. They're there to help you. So it's saying, I lean into the loving embrace of the universe so that I experience complete and ultimate spiritual fulfillment in a way that all beings may gain spiritual benefit. So yeah, like this thing here is kind of like, yeah, this is almost like fulfillment this is giving me as well. You know, we're watching our children grow up. It's like peaceful. We're watching them play together. It's fulfilling. So it looks like here, we're being asked to lean into that embrace, you know, and I trust in this divine support. My courage and boldness increase. So yeah, we're being asked to trust that we have support. So it looks like here, we might be getting some of this. So we've got, it looks like almost a butterfly on this card here. So we've got some sort of like maybe transition or transformation. Whenever we choose to accept the reality that there is support, because sometimes you can be in that reality where you believe there is no support, and if you believe that, like our beliefs shape our reality, right? If you keep believing that, that's what's going to keep showing up for you. So you have to believe that you have support, that your guides are there for you, even if you don't have physical support. Your guides are there for you, but you can always reach out. You know, you can always reach out to family, friends, you know, loved ones. There's a lot of, you know, really good kind of online, even if it's just like a therapist or something. Sometimes it's easier to talk about things to people that we don't know. You know, so there is some of those programs that you can reach out for. So yeah, but make sure you ask your guides. Ask your guides for support. And Jasper. So Jasper's like that grounding. And picture Jasper. So it's kind of like this here. Like this kind of reminds me almost of like a picture. Like it's you taking a snapshot in time kind of thing. It's a memory, right? Some sort of memory. So yes, being asked to accept the reality that there is support on all levels. So as we start trusting in the divine support, our courage and our boldness are increased, because this divine support is going to show us, and we're going to accept that there is support. We're going to be shown that there is support. We're choosing to live with unconditional trust and confidence in divine grace. So picture Jasper, Archon Barbelo. Looks like a good guide to call on this week if you need support, or even if you need help with something. So let's see what else is popping up. Is there a life lesson that's popping up? What's the life lesson that's popping up for the collective? Yeah, acceptance. Like I was saying, I choose to accept the reality that there is support for all levels of my being. So yeah, I am learning to accept that the things that I cannot change. That is the affirmation on this. So we've kind of got that crown chakra coming out again. Like I was saying, we kind of had that root chakra, that Jasper, kind of that grounding. I believe Jasper is also connected to the crown chakra. Correct me. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm about 80% sure that was connected to the crown chakra as well. So yeah, like I was saying, there's a butterfly kind of seems like on this card right here. So it's like, as we trust in divine support, my courage and boldness increase. So yeah, there's like a transformation. You know, we're having more courage because we're trusting in life. But yeah, so back to acceptance. So yeah, it looks like here we're being asked to accept that you are learning to accept the things that you cannot change. So that's the affirmation. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Because if we don't have acceptance, then we're kind of not taking like accountability for our lives. We're blaming it on other factors. Well, if I, you know, had more money, I would be happy. Or, you know, if I had a partner, things would be easier, type of thing. We have to accept where we are to be able to bring in more. Whenever we're always not in gratitude and acceptance, we're always looking outside of things. We're always wanting more. So it looks like we might be asked in our mind, crown chakra. Looks like it's coming out here quite a bit. Looks like we're being asked to accept our situations. Accept the things that we cannot change. Let's see what else we can get for that. What else can we get for that? Accept the support, you know. What else can we say? So we got number 369. We've got kind of that powerful, you know, manifestation number, and it's saying have compassion. So we're supposed to have compassion for ourselves in the process. By compassion when dealing with acceptance, because acceptance isn't always easy, you know. It's easier to blame our situations on external things than it is to, you know, maybe take accountability and accept where we are in life. Like I said, I think we've had this one before, and I've said that was one thing that is kind of the first step to spirituality, is accepting where you are. So it's looking like we're being asked to have some compassion. We've got this flower here, so it's kind of like, it's kind of helping us grow. Like it's helping us grow. It's helping us flower. So when it looks like here too, we've got some sacral. So, you know, there might be some emotions with that. Obviously, you know, having compassion can be emotional. And then we've got here some blue. So maybe just speaking compassionately to yourself, you know, your throat chakra. Let's see what else we got here. And then we have number 18. So then we have number 9, which is kind of like a completion. It's helping complete a cycle. It's helping us to end, you know, our way to control. It's helping us end like our way to control things. You know, I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. We can't control them anymore. So we're being asked to have compassion, to let go of that. Let go of the things that you cannot change. Choosing to live with unconditional trust and confidence. Having some compassion. Leaning into loving embrace of the universe. So let's see what else we can get on that. Let's see. Whoops. There's something on me. Oh. So yeah, we've got harmony coming out. Like I was saying, kind of that 6 of Cups is kind of like that harmony. I'm trying to not get the glare off it. I'm going to have to try and fix that. Yeah, it's like that harmony. You know, having support, acceptance, compassion. That's all going to help bring us, you know, choosing to accepting support and compassion, acceptance. It's all helping bring us back into harmony. So it's saying here, power, self-confidence, and productivity, number 3. So it's that mind, body, soul connection. You know, and we've kind of got this, both these stars, you know, here. We've got that kind of star energy on here as well. And we've got that, you know, kind of that flower, that star, you know, kind of within that heart. So it looks like it's going to be kind of a very kind of personal week, but it's going to be harmonious. It's going to, you know, this is for our mind, body, soul connection this week. We're being asked to find harmony through acceptance, but through having compassion through ourselves, accepting the support, you know, accepting the support and accepting the reality that there is support. This is going to help bring us, you know, into our harmony. And we've kind of got this, she's almost got like this, she's this tree. So she's kind of grounded, like she's grounded. She's one kind of with nature. She's got that harmony. You know, it's giving me this kind of divine feminine. Divine feminine, I can't speak. You know, divine feminine, it's giving me that. But yeah, it looks like here it's saying power, self-confidence, productivity. That's what this week's going to kind of be about. Support, acceptance, compassion. It's going to be really centered on our mind, body, soul connection. It's going to be looking within. But we have this green, so we've got that heart chakra energy. So yeah, it's like we almost got that, like on here, we've got that root, crown, and heart. And now out here, we've kind of got the, you know, the root, the crown, and the heart coming out. So it looks like those chakras are going to be big this week. So we've got power here. We're kind of our personal power. And then we've got, you know, our self-confidence. Maybe it'll be a week of productivity, getting things done. Maybe that productivity will require some support. So let's see what else we can pull for this. And she's kind of got this, like, this star on her third eye as well. So it's like a heart and third eye connection too. I'm getting here. Huh. Let's see what else comes out for that. This week seems to be, it's going to be a lot on feeling. You know, we've got the emotions with the cups. Let's see. Yeah, we got third eye activation. So it's almost like the root, the heart, and the crown are creating some sort of third eye activation. Because we've got them bunched here. Like this is really kind of, you know, these colors are kind of, you know, we're bunched in this card together. It's like they're the three of them. And then kind of came the third eye with this, you know, this card, and we've got the third eye here as well. So it's almost like activating the heart, the crown, and the root is going to cause some sort of activation, or illuminating those parts are going to work in combination, and there's going to be a third eye activation happen. So we've got brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. So yeah, this week it looks like, you know, we have a couple different chakras that are opening, that are going to, or that are, I don't want to say opening, I want to say kind of working together to form some sort of third eye activation. We've got a doorway here. You know, if there is a doorway, there's like something open, a door has opened, you know, and we're seeing, you know, kind of onto the other side, seeing through the illusions, seeing through the veil. So it looks like a third eye might be coming up quite a bit this week. Now that you can get, for third eye, you can get physical symptoms. Sometimes I get some pain in my third eye, especially around the full moon. I find sometimes I'll get a little bit. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but I also get a little bit of twitching on my brows. But you might have some physical symptoms, or, you know, your dreams, your subconscious, you might be having that as well. But you might see through some illusions this week. Because, you know, when we are in that kind of state of harmony, you know, that's kind of where those answers reside, is whenever, you know, we are in kind of that present moment, and we're in that peace, that harmony, that stillness. So yeah, it looks like, yeah, the third eye. And we've kind of got this bright light, so it's like, yeah, it's been illuminated. There's something being illuminated. Let's see what else I can get on this. Definitely is seeming to be like our mind, body, soul connection type of thing. We're having inner vision. Maybe you're aligning some of your goals and your dreams. You can see clear now. Maybe you've had some sort of breakthrough where you can see your path. You can see kind of where you're going. Yeah, we got number 2, root chakra. Ground and center. So yeah, it looks like this week is going to be kind of a week to ground and center. You know, going within, you know, finding that harmony. Accepting where we are with compassion for ourselves. Accepting where others are with compassion for them. Accepting the reality that there is support. You know, we're leaning into loving embrace. You know, that's kind of this card here. Like it's kind of like we're leaning. See, she's like leaning. We're leaning into loving embrace. We're leaning into the universe, into, you know, Mother Nature. You know, we're experiencing complete and ultimate spiritual fulfillment. The first step to that will be having acceptance of where we are right now. We can't go past that unless we have acceptance. So yeah, it looks like, and then we got number 2. So, you know, that could be our balance as well. That can be kind of the duality. Number 2 could be our, you know, our relationships, our partnerships. And we've kind of got, and we've got, of course, this kind of moth butterfly thing. And it's funny because this one actually looks, you know, pretty close. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it's kind of hard to see on there. These ones kind of look pretty close. So that picture Jasper, I'm getting that picture Jasper with that. That's going to be a good one to use this week. But there's some sort of transformation that's going to happen. There's like a third eye activation, but I'm getting something else. There's some sort of there's some other sort of transition, transformation. This one here, yeah, I'm trying to see here. And we've got the sun up above here. So we've got being outside under the sun. It was hot today though, under there, you know, obviously taking some, you know, shade, water, stuff like that. But it's almost like there's this transformation, and it's kind of going, it's almost like it's coming from the ground and it's going up. You know, it's going from the root chakra and it's coming up through your chakras. And it's like, it looks like here there's, you know, maybe some light codes, light rays that'll be involved in that. But we're being asked to ground and center, you know, to have that harmony, that peace. Let's see. I'm going to pull my magical dimension cards and see. The root chakra is like our security, our safety. So grounding is going to be big this week. Looks like, you know, the sun outside in nature. That's going to help, you know, replenish our energy. What else is coming up for the collective this week? So in this one here, we've got number 54. I'm going to have to fix why that's doing that. Okay. And it's called Lunar Eclipse. So it's almost like we've got these phases of the moon, you know. So we're going through maybe a cycle, and it could be maybe some sort of lunar cycle as well. You know, it says adapt, completion, and reveal. So yeah, maybe with that third eye, something's going to be revealed. That third eye activation, you know, clear seeing. You're going to see something clearly. But yeah, it's got, and it's funny because it's got actually a woman, you know, she's sitting under a tree like this. You know, we've got kind of that harmony, you know, that balance. And it looks like we're kind of creating something here. We're creating something under this moon. And it looks like it's the Merkaba. We've got some sort of Merkaba going on here. So there's some sort of kind of magic, sacred geometry, masculine and feminine as well. Like I was seeing here, I think this card here is kind of like it looks like a male here. Kind of got that father figure. Then we've got like that female here. We've got that intermarriage kind of thing of the masculine and feminine. So we're adapting. We're adapting. You know, we're having acceptance, learning to accept the things you cannot change. We're adapting. You know, we're having self-confidence. You know, we're adapting to our power. We're kind of like integrating. It's giving me like an integration, you know, completion. So like I was saying, yeah, like this compassion here, there's some sort of completion with that. So there's like a completion of a cycle that's going on. Or a phase. It could be a cycle or a phase that's going on in your life. And maybe the phase had to do with, you know, your beliefs around support. Maybe the phase has something to do with, you know, you accepting not just that you can't change the past, or accepting, sorry, the things that you cannot change. And it's saying here, reveal. Yeah, so something will be revealed. There's kind of some magic going on. There's some, I'm trying to see what these things are. We've got the owl up here too. So we've got some wisdom, some knowledge. We might have some ancestral stuff coming up on our path. Huh. But yeah, it looks like here there's, you know, we are kind of like integrating. It's like a completion. We're integrating these energies. We've kind of got these stars, you know, under the moon, the stars, the nighttime. Something is going to be illuminated. You know, they have the full moon. We just had the full moon last night, was it? So still kind of getting the effects of that. You know, we're going from the phases of the moon, you know. So yeah, it looks like there is, and eclipses are usually sometimes a little chaotic energy. They seem to be kind of sometimes chaotic, you know, magical. They're, you know, kind of every time there's an eclipse, you know, everybody watches, or everybody kind of takes notice. So it's kind of like that little bit of a rarer event. So yeah, something though is going to be illuminated. Let's see if we can pull up anything else on this. I am going to pull an animal card. This is a, you know, a lot going on in this reading. There's a lot of different elements that are kind of coming out here. It's like this is going to help our peace though. Something about that. It's going to help our, you know, bring everything into, you know, harmony and balance within us. It's an animal card. You're supported by the universe. Yeah, we've got the dog. We got the dog usually again. We got the dog before. These cards. So the dog is a symbolism, is devotion, protection, and service. So yeah, and also we have that kind of that companionship, you know, that support, you know, with our animal allies. Dogs have been long domesticated companions and servants of humans. They've also frequently been sacrificed for the benefit of a master or group. Northwest Native American myths describes dogs carrying out various tasks for the glory of their masters. Western Himalayan peoples annually sacrifice dogs to protect themselves against disease or misfortune. In the mountainous regions of Japan, villagers would importune the gods for black rain-filled clouds by sacrificing a black dog. So yeah, we've kind of got that, giving you kind of the different perspectives of the different cultures. But it's also, we've got, yeah, like when we think of a dog, it's man's best friend. We've got that devotion. It's kind of, you know, they support us. They support us. Definitely, I feel my animals do. Every time I kind of have a bad day or something, you know, they always kind of make up for it. So we've got that support. So even if you don't have, you know, physical support, you can always look to your animal companions, because they are there. They are there to support you in this lifetime. And we've got protection as well. So yeah, the dogs are, you know, they're protectors. They also, you know, they also serve. They serve their, you know, their humans. They serve as support to their humans. So yeah, it looks like a symbol of a dog. And actually that was funny, because I just seen on my way home, it was the symbol of a husky. So yeah, we've got that kind of mind, body, soul connection with that devotion. But yeah, we've got that support there as well. So looks like if you could be seeing a symbol dog, you could be really called to your animal friends. You know, you could be a word of the dog. It could show up for you in a multitude of ways. So yeah, and we've kind of got this third eye energy kind of going on here. We've got the blues and the dark blues and everything. This also has a full moon. And we've also got, kind of hard to see, but down in here, she's like blindfolded. And then behind her is the two eyes. So yeah, it's almost like that third eye activation. You know, now we're seeing clearly. And also the dog has a third eye on his head as well. I never noticed that before. So maybe we're having some of that. We could be actually having some of that telepathic communication with our animal friends as well. That might pop up for you. Some of that intuitive communication as well with animals. So that's one to watch out for, the dog. Let me see if there's anything else I can pull on this. This reading is all over the place. What is going on here? Well, I'm sure it'll reveal itself to me after this. It's usually how it works. So we've got 417 frequency. That's the frequency of re. You know, to cleanse, change and cleanse traumatic experiences. So it looks like that's going to be a good frequency to work with. So with the six of cups, cups are kind of the emotions that we got in, you know, the sacral. So it looks like we're being asked to cleanse that. Maybe that's why, you know, we're being asked to ground. Because this is kind of like this is inner work that's going on this week. It's giving me some pretty big inner work. So we're cleansing, you know, traumatic experiences. We're having compassion for ourselves while we do that. We're having acceptance too. You know, we're having acceptance on our path of where we are. Acceptance of support. This is, you know, creating some harmony. You know, inner power, self-confidence. We also have third eye activations. We're being asked to ground. There's some sort of lunar eclipse energy coming in, and that number was number 9. So yeah, we've got that. There's some sort of completion, completion in the energy. So yeah, and then number here, we've got number 8. So that's going to bring us some more energy into our sacral. It's going to help it flow. It's going to, you know, like I said, cleansing. We got that water energy. So that'd be a good frequency to work with this week. And yeah, like here it's saying reveal. Like we've got reveal on this card. And then the re again here. So it's going to help reveal something as well, I believe. So whenever we're cleansing, so it's saying change, cleanse traumatic experiences. So we're changing and we're cleansing. Something is going to be revealed though in that. And you know, whenever we're changing and cleansing, it's not always easy. So that's why we're being asked to have compassion with ourselves. We have this card here with this kind of that sacral energy. So it looks like we're being asked and called to inner work this week. Finding that peace, that harmony, that balance within our mind, body, soul connection. There's some sort of root, crown, and heart chakra working. They're like working together. That's going to help open some third eye, or help. There's going to be some sort of third eye activation with that, because that's going to help find our harmony. Yeah, it's almost like that balance, like finding that in our root, and then in our crown, aligning our root and our crown is going to it's going to do something to our heart, which is then going to activate our third eye. That's a lot. That's a lot this week. It looks like a big week for some inner work though. It's going to bring us that balance. That 417 is going to bring us into some of that balance. As above, so below with number 8. It's going to help give us some energy as well. Let's see if there's anything else here. So we've got here number 20. So we got that, you know, that number 2 again coming out, that duality, that, you know, that balance coming out. But we've also got number 2 kind of for our, you know, our partnerships, our relationships type of thing. So then this one here is like, he's blindfolded, and then we've got all these kind of different, what would I call them? Symbols. You know, we've got the different religions almost. You know, we've got the Star of David, we've got the like kind of Taoism, we've got Christianity, we've got Judaism, we've got kind of some Egyptian coming out here. And it looks like here we've kind of got on the bottom, we've got this monkey, like this evolution. There's like some sort of evolving with this. And I was getting that word actually the other day, evolve. But it's like we're blindfolded. And it's this one here is like, it looks like here too. So we've got our root chakra as well. We've got that red coming out in the cards. You know, it's kind of like that. All of these are connected by a thread kind of thing. They're all kind of on chains. They're all connected. They're different and they're separate, but there's all connections through all of, you know, the modalities, the religions, within that. So it looks like we're having like some evolution. It looks like we're being asked to trust with, you know, being blindfolded. And like I was saying here, we've got that blindfold. It's kind of strange that that came out twice. The blindfolded and then, you know, seeing. You know, we will have a third eye activation though. But we have to have that trust, it's looking like. So, we got a lot of stuff coming out this week. So we got the 6 of Cups, we got that, you know, that harmony, or, you know, that harmony. There might be some reflecting on the past. There might be some emotions. We're being asked to have acceptance on our path. Learning to accept the things that we cannot change. We're choosing to accept the reality that there's support. But we're asked to be having compassion. Compassion this week for ourselves and others. You know, to have some, to bring in harmony. Looks like nature is going to be big as usual. You know, nature is always very grounding. You know, it's going to help us get into that heart chakra. And it's going to help with our power, our self-confidence, our productivity. We've got third eye activations, brow chakra, inner vision, clear seeing. There's a doorway that's being opened. There's a doorway that is being opened. We can see on the other side. We're being asked to ground. This looks like a lot of inner work, mind, body, soul connection this week. There's some sort of lunar eclipse energy. You know, magic. There's alchemical merging of the divine masculine and feminine, balancing that out. And we've got kind of this solitude, kind of this being in nature, this phase. You know, there's a completion. Something is going to be revealed. We're being asked to use frequency 417 to cleanse some traumatic experiences. So it looks like that's going to be a good one to work with to help with that sacral energy, but we're being asked to have compassion when doing that. You know, clearing out stuff is going to bring stuff up. It's going to be it could be emotional. It could be bringing up triggers for you. But it looks like we have the spirit animal of the dog. You know, we do have support. We do have those companions. You know, whether they're physical or non-physical, you know, non-physical. But I feel like there's going to be something to do with some animal communication that you're going to get. And it might be from your pet friend. You might not think it at the time. But it looks like, yeah, we've got kind of a third eye on this dog. It's almost like, yeah, the intuition kind of thing. So, and then we've got, yeah, this one here, we're kind of being asked to trust. We've kind of got this is evolution, you know, trust, because everything kind of strings together. This is all kind of for you, for your mind, body, soul connection. To be trusting, you know, what your truth is. Because all of these, you know, claim to be the truth, you know, but trusting what your truth is. And that's going to probably come with that third eye activation. You're going to be seeing something clearly. So that's what I got for this reading. So this one was a little bit difficult. I'm going to have to admit that. This one seemed like it was kind of like all over the place. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be like a little bit of a bouncy week. Maybe we'll be kind of going from one thing to another thing. And maybe that's why we're being asked to ground. Because we're doing a lot of inner work, it looks like, this week. So yeah, let me know. Thanks. Have a good night.